Welcome to Butterflies of Wisdom, everyone. And I apologize if this seems a little chaotic. I'm actually waiting for direct TV at my house right now. So if I end interviews abruptly today, that's why. And so, but enough about me and enough about my day. I have the fabulous Valerie with me on the phone, and Valerie's a life and career coach, and so I'm going to let Valerie take it away.
Hi, nice to be with you today.
Nice to have you. And so
Thank
please
you.
explain more of what you do.
So I am a life, career, and leadership coach for women, and I am also a HR and management consultant for organizations. So I coach mainly women who are having trouble finding jobs, who are having trouble within their current positions, or who don't understand what they want to do next in life.
Okay. The reason why I say okay so hesitantly is because I am in a very sticky situation right now, actually, at my teaching job. My teaching job is only one day a week, and I will admit to you guys that I teach preschool drama. And I was given the opportunity to leave. Of course, that's not panning out the way I wanted it. And so now they're having trouble designing a job for me, literally sticking me in a place that I could be useful. And I keep telling them that I need to be useful. So in the corporate environment, Valerie, what would I say to my boss, essentially? How would I phrase it in a way that I wouldn't be stepping on other people's toes?
They should be able to find something for you. There should be a way that they should be able to place you within their. I wouldn't be able to understand why it would be difficult for them not to be able to do that. There's ways of working with around things.
It's just fear of the disability, quite frankly. It's just fear of the disability, and if I fall, they're afraid of getting lawsuit. And still people about disabilities, and I'm almost 30 years old. I'll be 30 years old in June, and I'm still teaching people.
There's ways of working around things. They should be able to place you. If they could, and I'd be interested to hear a little.
Of disabilities.
Yeah, because there's ways of working with plenty of people who have disabilities. There's no reason why that should really be too difficult.
That should really be too difficult. And I have a question for you. What has been your favorite success story that you've been able to work with?
Can you repeat your question? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
What has been your favorite success story that you have seen in your entrepreneurial journey?
Oh gosh, I love it when I see a client that can kind of turn it around. When they come to me and they're having a hard time and they're facing the biggest obstacle possible, either in their career or their personal life, and then they're just able to turn it around and do something great for themselves, either through a job or overcoming whatever it is that's, that's ailing them. Either way, I think that's probably got to be the best thing that you can do is be able to help them do that.
Help them do that.
Yeah.
What have you, now here's my next question. have you ever had a client come to you and say, I'm facing X, Y, and Z, and you have had to say to them, I can't help you. I'm sorry, you need other help from me, but after you receive that other help, come back.
I had a client who I couldn't help to a certain extent. I was able to help her a little bit, but then it came to a point where I said to her, I think you need a local coach. I think you need somebody who can sit down with you and work with you face to face. Because there is a difference. And, and she needed that. And, she kind of she's worked a little bit with both of us. And there's a big difference, between the two of us, how she's grown. She's grown a lot. And so there's some situations like that where, sometimes somebody needs a little bit more than others. Not everyone's the same. You can't really kind of put people in that kind of a box type of thing. You know what I mean? People don't.
Yeah.
They don't fit into that. You can't look at it like that. It doesn't work. She came to me and I did that with her and it's worked. Excuse me. So I mean that's been great. You can't always help everyone. You have to understand that too. Not everyone is your client, and not everyone, is somebody that you can help.
And let me just tell you guys, there's a sea of coaches out there, and I was interviewing a person yesterday, and the interview was actually live, and pick a coach that's actually going to work with your personality. Some people like, we do X, Y, and Z, and that's it. And other people like a little bit more compassion. And so pick a coach that is actually going to work with your personality with a face-to-face a long distance.
Yeah, it's different. Your personalities do have to mesh. If your personalities don't get along, if you will feel like if you're going to be frustrated with the person, or if you feel like you're going to argue, or if there's some type of difference there will be no benefit. You're not going to get along. You're just going to spend the time arguing or upset or fighting or what have you. And it's not going to work. There will be absolutely no benefit in coaching, if there's that type of situation. So you have to get along. When you do it online, it's a little bit harder to tell. Sometimes it takes a couple of sessions to kind of find out, but, you can usually tell. And, the other thing is you have to want to do the work. People don't realize that if you come to a coach is going to hold you accountable. You can sit there and say, well, I want to find a new job. But that's easy because then you can set up a job alert, have it come to your email and have it sent in your inbox. And are you actually going to actively read those, look at them, take action, and do something about it? Well, if you want to come work with me, I'm going to actually hold you accountable to reading those, taking action on them, sending out resumes. How many are you sending out a week? How many networking events have you gone to? Have you joined any networking groups? Who have you spoken with? What are you actually doing? What steps are you taking? I will actually hold my clients accountable towards their actions, towards their goals.
Well, good. You are a real accountability buddy. And yes, we expect you guys to be accountable to Valerie or be accountable to me, quite frankly, because we all have challenges and there's a sea of coaches out there, but we need people to take their own actions. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. You hire a coach. Yeah. Valerie expects you to go through your inbox to find your dream job. She's not going to be chasing after you.
That's the other thing, too. People don't want to have to chase after somebody. You're an adult. You want somebody who's going to, to take action and to do those things. They don't want to be chasing after somebody who's who's not, who's going to either skip their sessions or, you know what I mean, something like that. That's not a good relationship either. And that doesn't really fit a good coaching relationship. You need to be accountable on all fronts. You need to be able to have a good, open relationship where you can talk back and forth. You can come to your coach with a problem. If you're concerned about something, if you're confused about something, if you're upset about something, you need to just be able to have that open, honest conversation. If you can't, then you really don't have a really solid bond.
And other than working with you, what would be your tips for finding a career coach?
It's kind of like finding a mentor. People think that it's really, really hard, but it really isn't. You can find, it depends if you want a professional coach or if you just want someone who can walk you through things like a mentor, then it's a little bit different. For finding a professional coach, I would go through a professional site. I would make sure people have the right background to actually coach you. Make sure they're actually either certified or qualified in some way to coach you in what it is that you're looking for. Different coaches need different qualifications. You need to find them in the right way. There's different sites. LinkedIn can help you find one. There's so many sites. I can't even think of them all right now.
LinkedIn.
Work your network too. Ask people.
Well, obviously asking people would help, but I'm surprised that LinkedIn could help you find a career coach.
Yes, LinkedIn has what they call Profinder, and you could go in there and look for any kind of type of like consultant, coach, anybody who can do some type of freelance work. So if you need someone just to fix your website or something like that, you can probably find them on there.
Yeah, because LinkedIn is good for finding jobs at the other end. I didn't realize you could have people on LinkedIn that could help you further your career path.
Yeah, you can find any type of freelancer on there. Not just career coaches. You can find almost anything. So it's a pretty good service, but there's other sites too and other platforms that will do the same type of thing. Help you find a career coach, help you, but I say work your network and, if you need to go online and go to Google and find some really good sites, make sure everyone is certified. The Muse is another one that has some really good certified career coaches. There's all different sites. It depends on what you're looking for.
But don't Google.
I love your clients. So.
Well, yeah, I know you do. But don't Google career coaches, people. Don't Google. That will send you down a rabbit hole you won't find what you're looking for. If you Google coaching, that will just send you down a rabbit hole. So, I have a question for you. What is your favorite book?
Oh gosh, I love mysteries. So, it's kind of hard for me to pick. I'd have to say probably anything by Catherine Coulter. Any one of her mystery books would probably get me. I love, those are kind of my favorite, but, I also love Sheryl Sandberg, I think, is also an excellent writer. So, one of her books, too. I think it's really hard for me to sit here and pick one. I love reading. I love writing.
And I presume that both of those authors you have mentioned are on Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah. So, who inspires you and why?
I think I look at women who struggle and I just want them to have better. I want them to know that there's better and there's more out there, and I just want to continue to give them more. And it just motivates me more and more every day. You know, I mean, I see all the women who came before us, right? You know, like all the way back to Eleanor Roosevelt. You know, she was a strong woman leader. You know, you look all the way back to that and you think, well, there's no reason why I can't do this. You have to think about how you can do it for other women and want to continue forward that way.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree with you, Val, on that. And I want to know, if you had to be educated by anyone in past or present history, who would it be and why?
I think that's a tie. You know, I don't think I can give you one. I think that's a tie. If it had to be passed, I would say I think Eleanor Roosevelt. And I think only because she was one of the strongest women leaders from his history. And I would love to learn from her what time was like then, you know, versus now. You know, I think that there's so much that we can gain from history that we can apply towards present. So I think learning from her would be amazing. And I think if I had to pick a present, I think Sheryl Sandberg, only because she's so dynamic. And there's so much that she can offer. But I think just being able to sit in a room with her and listen to her speak or being able to learn anything from her, I think would be incredible. That would be an amazing experience. And being able to have both, that would be like heaven on earth.
Yeah.
How do you get better, right? I mean, that's
how do you get better? How do you get better? And to those of you who don't know who Sheryl Sandberg is a Facebook executive. She's a CEO of Facebook, so she works under Mark Zuckerberg. People don't talk about Sheryl Sandberg as much as they should. People talk about Mark Zuckerberg more than they talk about Sheryl Sandberg, but I believe that Sheryl Sandberg has grit and determination that no one else has at Facebook, even though Facebook is a wonderful platform. And yes, if you play your cards, like Facebook can help you with your job career, but I think more LinkedIn, as we said earlier, could help you find someone. And as Valerie said, just ask your network. Just ask your network. Don't be Googling all the time. And that being said, since you said I love new clients, Valerie, where can the people find you, and how could people begin to work with you?
You can always find me on social media. My handle is AskVMC. You can always email me at valerie@askvmc.com. You can always try my website, askvmc.com. You know, if you send in an email or a message, it will always come to me, and I'll always get back to you. I always start by working with people through oh gosh, it's bad when you start blinking on words, but it's Friday, huh?
Yep. Yep.
You're funny, Win. People will always get a consultation first. So, you know, if you think you would like a consultation, I'll always be happy to give you one. But that's always the first step. So, you know, you would be booking through my site, but if you send me a message or an email, I'd love to hear from you. I can always help you get it set up too. So.
Okay, and then if you get a consultation, and then you'll do you give career tests like the Strengths Finders test, or how does one go about doing that if they need to?
I couldn't hear you. What type of test?
It's sort of like a Strengths Finders test, Like, what are you strong at?
Oh, you can find those online, but if somebody wanted help with one of those, I can help you out. There's different types though. There's many different types.
There's many different types.
Yeah,
So
there's many different types.
I was asking, would
yeah.
a coach help with that or no?
A coach can help with that. It depends on what type you're looking for, because there are quite a few. Those can be a little bit of a maze.
Yeah. Again, just like coaches in general, that can be a little bit of a maze. Now, I'm going to turn the mic over to Val, and then she can ask me questions about anything she wants.
So I'd love to know what inspires you every day.
Doing this podcast and interviewing people like you and being a lifelong learner.
If you could have one dream guest, who would it be?
Oh, I would say I'm getting my dream guest on here soon, and I'm not going to give that away yet, but I have my dream guest, and that will be a secret probably later on today that I will give, but I have a dream guest coming, and I'm so excited that her assistant said yes, and if I asked this dream guest, it wouldn't be possible without a podcast, you guys. You get to meet incredible people through this podcast, and I don't know how long this dream guest is going to stay, but the fact that she said yes to me, I am amazed by.
So it's a she. Okay.
Yep.
I guess
it's a she.
Okay. It's a she. Okay. We'll have to wait and see then, I guess. I'm excited to find out.
We will. Yep. And I will probably later on today make that announcement.
Oh, I'm excited. I can't wait to find out who it is.
Yeah. You guys will be shocked and you guys will be shocked as to why I bring you on too.
Oh, I can't. Oh, I know. I'm really excited.
Yep.
So if you could learn from any female historical figure, who would it be?
Any female
historical figure.
Well, that would be Harriet Tubman. You know why I say that? Or it maybe Rosa Parks. You know why I say Harriet Tubman or Rosa Parks is because what they did for women. Rosa Parks was the black passenger on the bus, and she goes, I don't want to give up my seat to a white passenger. I will sit right here, thank you very much. And Harriet Tubman was a big slave activist, and so I think those two would be phenomenal to look into and ask them why at the time they did what they did, especially Rosa Parks, because she could have rolled over like there was no tomorrow. She could have said, yes, I'll give up my seat for a white passenger, but I just would be curious as to what made her think to say no. Made both of them think to say no.
I like that answer, and I'll tell you why. Because that's huge for advocacy. Not just for women itself, but for race, for disabilities, for inclusion in general. And I love that because I think that's just so important because I think we get lost in the meaning of things sometimes. And we just don't even think about the bigger picture. And to me, that's just, you said it right there. I love that. I love that. You know, we don't think about what it takes to fight for something. And I think sometimes we take things for granted.
Definitely. We do take things for granted until it scares you well enough that and then we stop and think about it. And I'm actually in the process of getting a fashion journalism degree. I'm applying next week to a totally different program, and so I can not only learn about fashion journalism, but use this journalism degree to make my podcast better and stronger.
Congratulations. I'm proud of you. That's awesome.
Thank you. Well, thank you.
I'm big on
that.
I'm big on people always learn. I don't think people should ever give up on learning in life.
No, I don't either. And so do you have any other questions for me?
I think that was it.
Your
like
questions to me. I would like one more, and that would be anything that you can ask me.
If you had the chance to be an advocate for disability or any other cause, do you think that you would do it?
Any of the disabilities. You're saying any of the disabilities.
Yeah, disabilities or anything else for women, disabilities, anything.
I would advocate for women in a heartbeat. I would advocate for you guys know this. I would advocate for the people that have mental disabilities in a heartbeat. I wish I could do it more than I do now, because mental disabilities are huge in this country along with physical disabilities. So, yes, I would advocate for mental disabilities as strongly as I could. I wish I could do it more, but I'm stuck dealing in the physical. Well, I shouldn't say stuck. I like what I'm doing, but I wish that I could do the mental disabilities more than I actually do, because right now I'm stuck teaching people about cerebral palsy. Not to say I don't love it, but I wish that I could glance out a little bit and speak on mental disabilities, because mental disabilities are hidden disabilities, and they don't have advocates of their own.
I think you would make an excellent speaker. I think you would do an excellent job.
Well,
you would be an excellent advocate.
I try and teach people about cerebral palsy the best I can, but some days is easier than other days.
That goes with anything, though.
Yeah, that does go with anything. And again, we'll have Valerie's information in the show notes, and I hope you guys enjoyed another fabulous episode with Valerie. And she's appeared on this podcast once before. Colin Hall interviewed her, and I was so fascinated by her story that I wanted to interview her again, and I wanted to see what she had to say to me. And so I thank Valerie for coming back on this podcast. And again, this podcast is sponsored by Grace by Grit. Grace by Grit is a clothing line out of San Diego, California, and they're giving you 20% off on any piece of athletic clothing you buy off their website, and they're giving you a 20% off code, and all that information could be found in the show notes. And just simply tap the podcast artwork, whether it be Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes, and anywhere you catch this podcast, and that will automatically take you to the show notes, and where you can find more information about Valerie, and she will be happy to respond to your emails and I just hope you guys enjoyed another fabulous episode. Thanks, you guys.